a tune of 4.5 billion Kenya shillings in this bill. There is also other funds that come with, to targeted sectors. For example, there is a fund called NAGRIP, Honorable Speaker, whose implementation is also done through the county governments. Honorable Speaker, in the same, as we are aware in this House, library services are devolved. But Honorable Speaker, as usually find across many other sectors and functions that are devolved, some, I would say, for lack of a better word, that they are semi-devolved. That the national government also has a role as much as the county governments has a role. Just the same way we see in agriculture, in health, in water, whereas they are devolved, the national government also has a role to play, which is also pivotal. Therefore, Honorable Speaker, there was funds for the library services, which has been a case previously, and we were able to discard with the matter through this mediation committee, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, this is actually where the rubber meets the road. And it's important that I bring this to the attention of members. And I am doing this, Honorable Speaker, so that we understand why we actually went for mediation. Honorable Speaker, in every scenario, you look for a tool in your hands to be able to also get what you don't have yet. Honorable Speaker, when this matter came before us, there was another outstanding matter in this House, which we thought was critical for us to handle, using this bill also as a tool. Honorable Speaker, there is something called RMLF. That is the Road Maintenance Levy, Honorable Speaker. Roads Maintenance Levy Fund. Honorable Speaker, this is a very important matter because I'm a member of Parliament for Kiharu, and of course, all the members here who are my colleagues, we are all equal. And therefore, Honorable Speaker, in discharging of our duties, it is important for me to put it very categorically, as the Chairman of Budget and also as the Member of Parliament for Kiharu. I know one thing, Honorable Speaker, that because these members care too much about the Kenyan people, there is no bill that will ever come before this House for members, for example, to deduct funds from NGCDF. And I know that can never happen. Because I'm a member of Parliament and I know the kind of patriotism with my colleagues when it comes to serving the people of Kenya through bursaries and other development programs through NGCDF. There is another second fund, Honorable Speaker, which is very critical for every member of Parliament. There is a semantic called 22%. There is another semantic called 10%. Those semantics are found around something called RMLF. In layman's terms, Honorable Speaker, these are carer funds. Honorable Speaker, as the Chairman of Budget and the co-chair of the mediation team, I had to put the interests of the members of this House and the people of Kenya first. And Honorable Speaker, one thing that is very clear, that when it comes to discharging of the duties, NGCDF stands out as a fund that reaches every village in Kenya through these members, Honorable Speaker. The second thing is that, Honorable Speaker, some of our weather roads, the roads that need to be maintained, there is no better way of discharging that role than passing through the Constituency Roads Committee in our Kera regions. And Honorable Speaker, then, when we went for that mediation committee, those were my reference points, Honorable Speaker. We met with the county COG, Honorable Speaker, and when we met with our colleagues, the COG, who are very magnanimous, we met with the chair, Honorable Igoro, we met with Honorable Anga, we met with Honorable Sang, and the other governors, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I was very categorical to our brothers and sisters that this House supports devolution, and that is why we keep on pumping more resources to our devolved units. But I also told them that when it comes to Kera roads, there are no better people to oversight that money than the members of Parliament, Honorable Speaker. And the reason we did that, Honorable Speaker, is that there was already a case before our courts that had been taken there by other faceless people, Honorable Speaker, but of course, the guests of the members of this House are as good as mine. And therefore, we requested them that for us to continue with the harmony of serving the Kenyan people, and for us to continue the way we've been doing in terms of supporting devolution, we requested them, and they were very magnanimous, that that case had to be withdrawn, Honorable Speaker, because, Honorable Speaker, the court had already gone ahead to inject that we were not to continue, Honorable Speaker, planning for the 22% and the 10% in the year 2024-2025. And Honorable Speaker, we would be seated here. Our constituents would be waiting for us to provide solutions to our roads, Honorable Speaker, but we would have no capacity. Honorable Speaker, I was lucky that when we went to that meeting, Honorable Speaker, Honorable Wanga, who has been also a member of this House, could understand the dynamics. And Honorable Speaker, the reasoning was that in this House, there are things that are sacrosanct. One of them is CDF, because we know it reaches all the villages. And the second is Kera roads. And the Honorable Speaker, after the discussion, without belaboring the point, is that after the many hours of meeting our governors, who are also very good servants of the people of Kenya, we were able to come to a conclusion that the case had to be withdrawn. And Honorable Speaker, as I report here, the case has been withdrawn. And Honorable Speaker, as I study here, the 22% Kera roads, the 10% Kera funds, which amount to Kenya shillings, around roughly 40 million shillings per constituency for 22%, and another 20 million shillings for the 10%. Honorable Speaker, I want to report to my colleagues that that fund is now firmly back to our oversight. And therefore, Honorable Speaker, I want to thank all these members of this House. We gained a lot of wisdom by the interactions we get. And I consulted many of them so that, Honorable Speaker, we enrich the debate. And that is why the conclusion has been to the favor of the people of Kenya generally. Because the members here do not act on their own behalf. They act purposely because they are very patriotic, and they mind about our roads, they mind about our development, and I want to laud all the members of the National Assembly in the 13th Parliament. Honorable Speaker, I want to wind up by saying that we have also been able to grant our governors the access to the funds. We have also suspended, Honorable Speaker, the parts of the law that could have handicapped them in terms of accessing this additional allocation, Honorable Speaker. I want to thank all our governors. They are very magnanimous. They are also servants as we are. And Honorable Speaker, we wish them the best even as they continue discharging the other roles through the other funds that we appropriate in this House. Honorable Speaker, I would wish to request the Vice Chairperson of the Budget and Appropriations Committee, the Honorable Mary Amase, to second this motion. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. For reasons already alluded to by the Honorable Chair Budget, we unanimously agree to uphold the proposed bill as presented by the Senate. I second.
Thank you. I now propose the question, which is that this House, that pursuant to the provisions of Article 1132 of the Constitution and the Standing Order 153, this House adopts the report of the Mediation Committee on the County Government's Additional Allocation Bill, National Assembly Bill number 23 of 2023, laid on the table of the House on Tuesday, 20th February 2024, and approves the mediated version of the County Government's Additional Allocation Bill, National Assembly Bill number 23 of 2023. Honorable members, this is a product of a consensual process of a bill that you passed yourselves. I don't know if you want to debate it or we put the question. I will now put the question. I see a hand there. Is it Olwach? Olwach, what is it?
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, and I just want to buttress just one point because I was a member of the Mediation Committee, and I fully concur and agree with the reasoning and points advanced by our co-chair in that, Honorable Dindi Nyoro. The only thing I needed to add is that Honorable Dindi Nyoro is trying to be diplomatic. The persons who actually filed this case are the Council of Governors themselves. And for some reason, the Council of Governors and the governors believe that by taking funds from the National Assembly functions, CDF, RLMS, that these would amount to funds that go to county government funds. So one of the key points that we ensured that as members we did was to extract a concession from them. And I thank Honorable Nyoro for the role he played, that they withdraw the cases which they had put. The consequence of that, which I am sure the Chair of Budget will state, is that in the budget policy statement, already there is a negative 10 billion on RLMS, and that would then required to be corrected when the report on the budget policy statement comes before this House. So I am happy that this committee was able to come back with a mediated version that allows counties to get their funds, and in the process protected the carer funds that had been reduced from 22 to 16 and from 10 to 6. With that, I support my Honorable Chair. Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you. Makali Mulu, you want to belabor this?
Yes, thank you, Honorable Speaker. I'll be very brief, Honorable Speaker, but I think it's important we put this on record, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, the bill we are discussing, the mediated fashion, is a bill which is talking about resources for this financial year, Honorable Speaker. The financial year runs from July to June, Honorable Speaker. And if you look at the history of this bill, particular bill, because it's an annual bill, Honorable Speaker, every year we are doing it very late, towards the end of the year. And I think as a House, and this should be actually, the Senate should be able to listen to this, Honorable Speaker. The Senate was specifically created to take care of the interests of the counties. And in a situation where they initiate the delay in terms of release of money, I think it should be very serious. If we want proper implementation of the budget, Honorable Speaker, it is important then that the Senate, to some extent, makes that this process is not delayed, Honorable Speaker. So for me, I think, I agree, but the timeliness in terms of when we are passing this bill is an issue of concern in terms of implementation of the budget. I submit, Honorable Speaker.
Order, honorable members. Before I put the question, I want to, on behalf of this House, to put it on record and make it very clear, because there were allegations from COG that this House had inordinately and maliciously delayed the passage of this bill. We want to make it clear that the delay in the passage of this bill and even the conclusion of the mediation to come to where we were was because COG went to court and obtained conservatory orders that injuncted any process in finalizing this bill. So the buck should be left to lie where it fell. It should not be transferred to this House, because this House has absolutely nothing to do with the inordinate delay in passing this bill and therefore unlocking the funds that the chairman of budget has enumerated to the House. I now put the question, which is that pursuant to the provisions of Article 1132 of the Constitution and Standing Order 153, this House adopts the report of the Mediation Committee on the County Government's Additional Allocations Bill, National Assembly Bill number 23 of 2023, laid on the table of the House on Tuesday, 20th February 2024, and approves the mediated version of the County Government's Additional Allocations Bill, National Assembly Bill number 23 of 2023. As members of that opinion say aye. Aye. Will those of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Honorable members, before we go to the Committee of the Whole on the Affordable Housing Bill, National Assembly Bill number 75 of 2023 at order number 11. I want to give the following directions. One, there were certain very fundamental issues that were raised by the Honorable Member for Seme, the Honorable Dr. Nyikal, to the effect that the report lacks considerations and conclusions and something like that. I will give the chairman of the committee a few minutes to respond to that. Before he does that, and you know when you go to committee, Mr. Speaker will leave the chair. It was communicated and recommunicated that voting will be by way of electronic process. This House and PSC has invested heavily in ICT development in this House. And Mother Wangari tells me in the morning while she was in the chair, she also made a communication. So when you go to committee stage, and I've seen quite a number of amendments to the bill for better management of time, all votes that will be called will be actualized electronically. Members who may have forgotten or lost their cards, you may sojourn to the ICT office and obtain your cloned cards for purposes of your proper participation in the proceedings of the House. Kimani?
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. So, Honorable Speaker, as we proceed to the Committee of the Whole House, I would like to lay a fact on a few issues that were raised yesterday during the second reading by the Honorable James Nyikal. Honorable Speaker, Honorable James Nyikal said, and it's good that we set this record straight, that the Committee of that Finance and National Planning and Housing Public Works in its report did not have observations and recommendations. Honorable Speaker, the way this report was prepared and the way we prepared this report, for once, we had a report that replied to every issue that was raised by all the stakeholders that we met. And if I, for example, pick one of those areas, if you check page 94 of the report, Honorable Speaker, the residents of Narok County raised concerns, for example, about the possibility of the rich and the privileged dominating the affordable housing program and acquiring units and renting them out, thus preventing the less privileged individuals from achieving this ownership. The Joint Committee's observation on that particular remark, Honorable Speaker, and I read verbatim, the committee noted the stakeholders' concerns about potential abuse of the provision and recommended its deletion. Further, it is recommended that the bill be amended to provide safeguards for issuance of one KRA, one house, or any other unique identifier. The residents of Vihiga County, Honorable Speaker, and specifically the Vice Chancellor for Kaimosi Friends University, raised the following concern on clause 38.4, that the clause be amended to reduce the 90 working days on related savings refund to 60 days. This adjustment would aim to expedite the process of returning savings to contributors who opt to withdraw their refunds voluntarily. Honorable Speaker, the Joint Committee observed and replied to the Vice Chancellor as follows. The committee noted the stakeholders' concern and agreed to reduce the period from 90 days to 60 days. Page 239 of the report, Honorable Speaker, talks about the residents of Kisii County, and they were led by the Kisii County pastors and clergy. And the issue that they raised was the requirement to have the 10% deposit for you to qualify to get a house. The Joint Committee observed the following, and this again is stipulated in page 239 of the bill, of the report, that the committee noted stakeholders' concerns and agreed to delete the agreed amount of 10% as a deposit, and further recommend that deposit amount be prescribed in regulations. If you check page 560 of the bill, we heard from the Architectural Alliance of Kenya And the clause that they wanted delete, Honorable Speaker, we replied to the report and actually agreed with the stakeholder that that particular clause be deleted. So I wanted to take that time to set the record straight that the report has observations and has replies to all the stakeholders on the report. And I encourage my good friend, Dr. James Nikal, to go and read the report properly and get to see the recommendations and the reply that was made for every issue that was raised by the stakeholders. And this is the first time, because I know, Honorable Speaker, we are used to having a report that has observations toward the tail end of the report. And that is why perhaps some members are getting confused. You need to read every page and you'll see the observations that the Joint Committee made on every stakeholder inside the report. And that I beg to say, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. We'll leave it there. No. He hasn't said anything worth replying. We now go to the next order, order number 11.
Order number 11, Committee of the Whole House.
Order, honorable members, will you be upstanding?
A very good afternoon to you. And the session of the Wednesday, the third session of the afternoon sitting being February 21st, where the members of Parliament began with a procedural motion on the extension of period for the consideration of the 2024 budget policy statement and the extension of the period for the consideration of the 2024 debt management strategy. Members of Parliament now are on the Committee of the Whole House on the considerations of the Affordable Housing Bill, Bill number 75 of 2023. I now hand over you to...
Member for Shuka Igambangombe, take your seat. Member for Manyata, take your seat. Order, members. Honorable Abdikadir, take your seat. Hi. Shut up. Order, members. Member for Ndia. Member for Ndia, take your seat. Honorable Kerema, take your seat. Honorable Mokonji, take your seat. Order, members. Before we go to Committee of the Whole, allow me to recognize Catholic University of Eastern Africa students in Langata constituency, Nairobi County. Join me in welcoming them to observe the proceedings of the House. We are now in the Committee of the Whole to consider the Affordable Housing Bill 2023.
Clause 3. Clause 3.
I propose the question that clause 3 be part of the bill. Mover. Chair. I know this is co-sponsored by Chair Housing and Chair Finance. Who is moving the amendment?
Honorable Speaker, Honorable Chair, I beg to move that clause 3 of the bill be amended as per the order paper, that in paragraph A, we insert the words "and to reasonable standards of sanitation," and then the end of paragraph B, in paragraph B, by inserting the words "and institutional housing" at the end of the paragraph, and C, in paragraph C, by inserting the words "and institutional housing" at the end of the paragraph. Honorable Speaker, this amendment is to provide to include institutional housing as part of the affordable housing scheme. With that, I beg to move, Honorable Speaker.
I therefore propose the question that clause 3 be amended as proposed by the Chair Finance. I now put the question that clause 3 be amended as proposed by the Chair Finance Committee. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. The import of carrying that amendment is that the amendment proposed by Honorable Oundo will fall, but I will allow Honorable Gathoni Wamushomba to move her amendment on this. If she's not in the house, it is dropped. Therefore, I will put a global question that the clause 3 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 4.
I propose the question that clause 4 be part of the bill. Mover.
Honorable Chair, there is no amendment on.
Order members, order Chair. The person with an amendment on this is Honorable Gathoni Wamushomba, who is not in the house, so the amendment. No, where is Millie? But you have told me Gathoni has an amendment. Yeah. So who are we moving first? Yeah, that's what I was calling. Yeah. I was doing that. Honorable Gathoni Wamushomba is not in the house, so her amendment is dropped. Member for Suba had an amendment. Honorable Millie Odhiambo. The Speaker has allowed Honorable Nyikal to... Honorable Otiende Amolo to move for Honorable Millie Odhiambo.
Thank you, Chair. On behalf of Honorable Millie Odhiambo, the proposal in respect of clause 4 is to delete clause 4 in its entirety, with the result that there will be no levy imposed. I so move.
Therefore, I propose the question that clause 4 be amended as proposed by Honorable Millie Odhiambo. I now put the question that clause 4 be amended as proposed by Honorable Millie Odhiambo. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The nays have it.
So the import of that, the amendment by Jambo falls. Member for Finyula falls. Then we have one by Nikal.
The import of that is that the amendment by member for Funyula falls. Then we'll have the amendment by the member for Seme, Honorable Nikal. Move your amendment.
Chair, my amendment is that is the order paper. And Madam Chair,
the import of this amendment is that the levy is actually being put on the gross salary. That means the salary as it is before it is touched. And my amendment is proposing that we put it on the net. That means after you have done statutory deductions, such as NSHIF, such as NSSF, then what is left is what you levy the 1.5% on. Madam Speaker, why I'm doing this, Kenyans are actually having a lot of deductions which are statutory, which are by law, which they have no control over. And therefore, since all those are going to support government things and public things, it is therefore important that we save them from that. And therefore, we want those deducted first, and then what is left is then what is subjected to 1.5%. If you look at it, honorable members, all the deduction is still actually going to either government or whatever levy. So we are just saving the members so that they pay a little less, but what is left is what is deducted, and what they have paid has also gone to the government. So it is a consideration so that as we do this, we actually don't hurt members excessively. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. I therefore propose the question that clause 4 be amended as proposed by Honorable Nikau. Member for Molo, Chair Finance.
Honorable Chair, the recommended amendment by Dr. Nyikaya and the explanation he has given is actually misleading. Because by deleting the word gross and substituting that with net, the impact of that would mean that for you to impose a levy, you will have to take into consideration all deductions, including if you had SACCO savings or your SACCO loans or your bank or your loan at the bank, and therefore that would cause an administration nightmare. It is not implementable as recommended by Dr. Nyika. And therefore our proposal is that we do not support Dr. Nyika's amendment.
Thank you. I will now put the question that clause 4 I will indulge a few members. Honorable Oluoch of Mathare.
And Chair, maybe you could guide. Do I now move my amendment or wait for this to?
No, Honorable Member, we prosecute Honorable Nikals first. So we will come to you.
Honorable Chair, I support this amendment because the bill as it is presupposes then that the housing levy becomes a fast charge without taking into considerations that there may be many other items that employees may already have encumbered themselves into. There is no justification why you would put in a hierarchy the housing levy to be a fast charge above other items that an employee has already been encumbered with. Therefore, by removing the word gross, it allows all other things which should share on equal basis so that the employee is not disadvantaged on the basis of an imposition of a fast levy, which it is not. Therefore, I support Honorable Jikal's amendment.
Honorable Luoch, I've indulged you because you had a similar amendment, and the fate that will befall Honorable Nikal's amendment will affect your amendment. That also for Honorable Clive and Honorable Ariko. Before then, I will give Honorable CNN. If you're intending to speak to this, you'll put intervention per clause.
Yes,
Honorable
Chair.
CNN.
Yes, Chair, I rise to support this amendment, Chair. Madam Chair, if you have compared the pay slips of Kenyans who are actually working today, majority of them, if we impose levy based on gross salary, Madam Chair, majority of them have gone to negative territory. That's why I am supporting this amendment, Chair.
Thank
and
you.
It will be good for Kenya.
There's a contrary opinion, say nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 6.
I propose the question that clause 6 be part of the bill. Member for Githunguri.
There is no amendment on the order paper.
Honorable Millie Odhiambo. Absent, amendment dropped. Member for Seme, amendment dropped. Member for Madare.
Thank you, Chair. I move as per the amendment of the order paper. And the reason for that, Honorable Chair, is that the proposed amendment, the clause as it is on the order paper is discriminatory to the effect that it seeks to exclude cabinet secretaries and creates a notion that the levy itself is a levy that is to be paid by a certain category of Kenyans, and that there are certain other categories of Kenyans that are protected. And therefore, I seek to delete that provision as in the bill. I so move.
Thank you. Honorable Oluoche's amendment is a deletion, so I will propose the question that clause 6 be deleted as proposed by Honorable Anthony Oluoch. I will put the question that clause 6 be deleted as proposed by Honorable Anthony Oluoch. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The nays have it. I will allow member for Embakasi, Honorable Mark Mwenje. If not in the House, I will drop it. Honorable Ojiambo, member for Funyula, was the same as Honorable Oluoch, so it is also dropped. So I will now propose that clause 6, I will put the question that clause 6 be part of the bill. I put the question that clause 6 be part of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 7.
I propose the question that clause 7 be part of the bill. Amendment by Honorable Gathonu wa Mushomba. Where are you amending? Honorable Gathoni.
Madam Chair, you'll forgive me, I don't have my card for now. That is why I'm not able to access the microphone.
I have already given you the microphone, Honorable Amushomba.
Thank you.
Prosecute the amendment.
Allow me to drop the amendment for now. Thank you.
That is dropped. The amendment by member for Turkana South, Honorable Ariko. You have dropped. Honorable member for Suba North, absent. It is dropped. Member for Funyula.
Chair, in view of other droppings, as they call them, whatever that means, droppings as they call them, you know, I drop the proposed amendment.
We have proposed amendments by the chairpersons. Move the amendments, Honorable Kimani.
Honorable Chair, I beg to move that clause 7 be amended as per the order paper, and this is deleting and substituting therefore the following new clause, that the levy shall be a debt due to the government and shall be recoverable in accordance with the Tax Procedures Act of 2015. This, Honorable Chair, is to make all fines and penalties for payee and for the other statutory deductions to be the same as that of this housing levy. Honorable Chair, I beg to move.
I therefore propose the question that clause 7 be amended as proposed by the chairs. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye?
Aye.
Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. The implication of that is that the proposed amendment by Honorable Luoch and Clive Ombane falls. So I will put a global question that clause 7 be, as amended, be part of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye?
Aye.
Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 8.
This has no amendment. I propose the question that clause 8 be part of the bill. I now put the question that clause 8 be part of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 9.
I propose the question that clause 9 be part of the bill. Honorable Amushomba, do you take the same route?
Chair, Madam Chair, this time I'm not ready to drop. I want to move that we amend clause 9. Justification is that the affordable housing levy are punitive to Kenyans who are faced with the high cost of living and their lives are difficult. Also, the levy increases the cost of doing business in Kenya and may lead to most businesses closing down. Madam Chair, further, there is no direct correlation between...
Order members.
There is no direct correlation between paying the levy and owning a house.
Order, Honorable Mushomba. There is a point of order from the chair. We'll hear it.
Honorable Chair, and I want to give Honorable Mushomba benefit of doubt because she has just joined us now. But the moving she's making has nothing to do with clause 9 of the bill. It has completely nothing to do with clause 9, and I think you should rule her completely out of order.
Honorable Mushomba, your amendment in clause 9, as per the records, is a deletion. Paragraph A, the entire paragraph A. So kindly move the right amendment as filed by the Speaker.
Madam Speaker, I move that clause 9 of the bill be amended by deleting paragraph A.
Now you can go on.
With the justification, Madam Speaker, that the affordable housing levy are punitive to Kenyans who are faced with high cost of living and their lives are difficult as we speak. Also, the levy increases the cost of doing business in Kenya and may lead to most businesses closing down or retrenching employees. Further, there is no direct correlation between paying the levy and owning a house. Therefore, it is proposed that this clause be deleted completely, Madam Speaker.
Wait, Honorable Chair. No, order members. Order members. I have the bill here. Honorable Mushomba's filed amendment is 9 to delete 9A. That all monies deducted or payable as a levy under this act, that whole A to be deleted. So she's perfectly in order. So we'll allow her to move, and I think you have already moved the amendment. Let me first of all propose the question. That clause 9 be amended as proposed by Gathonu Mushomba. Now I can hear the majority leader.
Chair, you know why we are lost on the member for Githunguri's amendment? Clause 9 is talking about the monies that will be paid into the fund. Clause 4 is the one that spoke about what she's speaking about, the levy. And clause 4 has already passed. Therefore, unless she had deleted clause 4, then what she's saying makes absolutely no sense.
Majority leader, order.
Because the fund is already there, Honorable Speaker.
Order, majority
and
leader.
I strongly oppose that particular amendment. These are things we say in funerals and in rallies, not in legislation making.
You're totally out of order, Honorable Majority Leader. Order members, if you look at the bill, part 3, it talks about the fund, but 9 is speaking about there shall be paid into the fund. A, monies deducted or payable as the levy under this act. So she's perfectly in order. So let her move. We can have contributions of the same, a few. I put the question. So I will put the question that clause 9 be amended as proposed by Wamushomba. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? Nay. The nays have it. The import of that is that the amendment by Honorable Millie Odhiambo falls because it was similar. And then we'll have the chairs prosecute the committee's amendments. Chair, you have a proposed amendment on clause 9?
Yes. Honorable Chair, I beg to move that clause 9 be amended as per the order paper by numbering the existing provisions as 1, and B, by inserting the following new paragraph immediately after paragraph C, that's CA, voluntary contributions made under section 38. And by inserting the new subclause immediately after the renumbered subclause 1 and 2, without saying that without prejudice to the generality of subsection 1, D, and C, all the proceeds of the sale, rent, and interest shall be paid into the fund. This amendment is providing, Honorable Chair, for voluntary contribution to be paid into the fund, and that proceeds also from the sale and lease of houses that are built through this affordable housing program are paid back to the fund so that it be made a revolving fund. Honorable Chair, I beg to move.
I therefore propose the question that clause 9 be amended as proposed by the chair. I put the question that clause 9 be amended as proposed by the chair. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye?
Aye.
Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I will now put the question that clause 9 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye?
Aye.
Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 10.
I propose the question that clause 10 be part of the bill. We have the chairpersons who have an amendment. Honorable Kimani, Honorable Ngeno, to move.
Thank you, Chair. I propose that clause 10 be amended in A, in subclause 1 by inserting the words institutional housing immediately after the words affordable housing. B, in subclause 2, 1 by deleting the words in all counties appearing in paragraph C, and then 2 by inserting a new paragraph immediately after paragraph C, and D, facilitate development of institutional housing units.
I therefore propose the question. You're not done?
I'm not done. The justification is that the amendment is to provide for the institutional housing, which was not the previous bill.
Thank you. I propose the question that clause 10 be amended as proposed by the chair. Majority Leader.
Chair, I rise to support this particular amendment. And Honorable Chair, you know, out of the public participation, you saw university students appear before the committee. And I see the Honorable Ariko, who is a member of the committee, remembers. And one of the challenges that have been with our students in urban centers is lack of proper housing in our universities, in our institutions of TVETs. Honorable Speaker, now this creates a forum for our university, TVET, and college students to be able to access institutional housing being built purposely for students. To our police force, Honorable Speaker. Our police force has suffered immensely since the change on government policy on housing when they started giving our police officers housing allowance. And they are given a housing allowance, I think, of 5,000 to 9,000 shillings, depending on your rank. Well, you are serving in a town where, on average, rental houses go for 20, 30 shillings. There are 30,000 shillings, Honorable Speaker. Now, with institutional housing, the government can now do institutional housing for police officers, for teachers, for medical care staff around hospitals, and they will be able to afford, since now this is affordable housing being done by under this fund. And I strongly support and thank the chair and the finance and housing committees for having taken into consideration many of the proposals that came through public participation.
I say, do you use your cards, members? Put the intervention. Honorable Stephen Mogaka.
Thank you so much, Madam Chair. I also want to support that amendment and thank the chair for that very quick thinking, because in particular, I come from a county which suffers a great deal because people working in the county live elsewhere. With this amendment, and when I am pitching to have a university set in Nyamira at Senator Keba. So this institutional housing is going to solve the problem of the student housing, it's going to solve the problem of the staff, and it is going to save the leakages in incomes of earners within Nyamira County who are spending it in Bomet, Kisii, Homa Bay, and other neighboring counties. I support, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Member for Matuga. Are you intending to speak on this one? Honorable Kemei, Justice.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
I'll come back to you, Honorable Kasim.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I want to support this amendment, Madam Chair. Sigawit Soin constituency doesn't have a single government quarter. The police officers based in that sub-county do not have any single dwelling except dilapidated structures in Sondu. The teachers don't have dwellings, Madam Speaker. The Kenya Medical Training College, which we have just started in Sigawit, there are no residential quarters. So I support, Madam Chair, the amendment so that we who are disadvantaged in terms of housing can be able to host public servants and any other employees. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. Member for Matuga.
Asante, Madam Speaker. Hili ni jambo muhimu kwamba hizi nyumba ziweze kushughulikia sio